Let's fucking go. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the role players. Nope, this is That's Our Q, or TOQ for short.
Wow.
I've just been missing it a little bit, okay?
Man, all right. Yeah, I see how it is. You want to go do that? Go do that.
All right, so listen, Danny is going to be playing an impromptu game of Monster of the Week. I've chosen the flake for his playbook, and I'll let him kind of explore that character as we play.
Okay.
So, Danny, you start off. Your character is in the middle of the woods with a giant Bigfoot. And I know that sounds redundant, but it's a Bigfoot, a Sam Squanch that's extra big. Not a
Oh
giant
my
foot.
goodness.
And then he says, "Ah, fuck, I hate your voice," and he dies. And you beat the monster of the week. Good job. You did it.
I
Roll
just
plus
wanted
cool.
to befriend him.
And then he wakes back up and he says, "All right, dog man, I was just fucking with you. Let's go." And
Oh,
he picks
thank
you up and
goodness.
he wears you like Yoda, like Luke Skywalker wears Yoda as a
Run,
backpack, and he
run,
runs
run,
through it.
jump. I can be a
Exactly.
backpack as you run.
Exactly. Or That's Our Cue for long, where we take your questions and we answer them as if anybody
Nothing
gives a
just
fuck,
happened.
except this week, people did give a fuck. We got another user submitted question, which we will go over here in a moment. My name is Adam, and of course, I'm joined by my buddy Danny Guarantee. Daniel, it's been several days. How are you?
Fuck yeah. I'm
Fuck
good.
yeah, dude. I've been riding that high all
I'm
week.
good. I know. I've been doing it.
I also have been doing it. I was just explaining this to a new friend at work about this. I was like, you ever just like feel like you can't be mad when you say things like fuck yeah, heck yeah, hell yeah, shit yeah. Like any adjective or like action right before the word yeah just feels good, man.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, dude. So anyway, Danny, do you want to just get into the questions, man? We got several from Adrian Tennis Ball on our website.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see what Mr. Tennis Ball has to say.
Do you want me to do the first one? You can do the second one. I'll do the third one because they asked 3 questions.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Yeah,
First
we got a
question
triple
was,
for y'all tonight.
we got a triple decker, which is not to be confused with a triple upper decker because that's different. So they ask, excuse me, what's your favorite holiday? Very simple, straightforward. And we are, we're approaching the holidays here in America. I don't know if everybody, I know Christmas is pretty close to standard for people who celebrate Christmas, but not everybody has Thanksgiving at the same time or like a similar holiday. So we're approaching Thanksgiving at the recording of this episode. So a pretty on point question. So Danny, what's a holiday that you really like, man?
So, man, this is a tough one. This one kind of hurts me deep in my soul.
Really?
Because my favorite holiday was Halloween. But unfortunately, that's one of those holidays that is, at least where I am, it's kind of being phased away. You know, instead of going door to door now, places will start doing trunk or treats, which is fine.
Yeah.
But it kind of gets rid of the magic. You don't see people walking up and down the street in costumes anymore. Mbeluga and I, we have a house on our street, and that was one of the big things as new home owners. We were like, oh, this is gonna be great. I can't wait to get like trick-or-treaters and stuff. We got one.
Your setup is very different though than like my setup because you guys are, I guess, technically in something like a plan, but like the houses are a lot farther apart from each other. Walking that neighborhood is a lot more like it's walkable, of course, but there's a lot less houses between each other. Where like my house is on my block, there's like 16 at least on one stretch of it at a time.
Yeah, so the town I live in, we have double lots. So every house is like 2 houses away, basically. You get like twice the
I
land.
see. Now where I come from, when I was a kid, that was the kind of shit that I would walk after we did our main town where there was a lot of houses in our little redneck town. Then we would drive up the road and get dropped off at a different smaller neighborhood, and it was a much bigger walk, but we were like, it's worth it for the candy and we get to be out late.
Yeah, we got one person, and it was the people that live behind us with their baby.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That means you have all that extra candy?
I'm diabetic.
Yeah, but I'm not. You listen, next week I have a 5-day weekend because I took a vacation day before and after Thanksgiving. I will come out there, Danny, and help you eat your candy.
Well, you know what we did? We repurposed one of my oh god. Sorry. I think I explained before. My mom's trying to get me to stop saying on these, and I keep catching myself. God damn it! So one of the things I did to help with my diabetes, and this is gonna sound like such a bullshit thing, but it's true. We bought a bag of ring pops
Uh-huh.
because if my blood sugar were to crash and I'm feeling weak and faint and everything, one of the best things to have to get your blood sugar up real quick is a lollipop. And with a ring pop, I don't have to worry about losing it, swallowing it by accident or whatever. I just slip it on my finger and, have a lollipop. And if I do faint or whatever, I won't swallow it. So that's the candy we gave out because I haven't touched them in
Interesting.
ever.
Oh man, I haven't had a ring pop in a hot minute.
Well, next time you come over, we have a bowl of them.
Well, if you're home for Thanksgiving, I'll be
Except
over.
Mbeluga gave all of I think the cherry ones to her best friend.
I've only ever seen blue and red ones. I don't know if I've seen other colors.
Well, you won't see the cherry flavor one in here. She didn't even ask
okay.
permission. She just gave them all to her friend.
Not
She was
that
like,
bad.
"Oh yeah, but cherry's her favorite." I was like, "Yeah, well, it's mine too." Not that I can eat them.
So what is your favorite holiday if you're phasing out of Halloween because of the lack of
Right. I want
trick or
it to
treat?
be Halloween, but I think it's gonna have to move to Thanksgiving, because God, it's so good. It's just so delicious.
Oh, because
Just
a
the
reason to
food.
have a bunch of food?
It's at least where I celebrate. It's literally wake up, skip breakfast. We have kind of like a late-ish lunch, maybe like 1 or 2 o'clock. Um, Lunch with my in-laws, where we have the whole king caboodle turkey, stuffing, cranberry sauce. They make
Mm.
green bean casserole, all of this stuff. We stuff our faces until I go in sweatpants every year because I know better. And we stuff our faces until we can't stuff anymore. And then we all come home and go to sleep for the rest of the day. It is the best holiday. Uh, Now that Halloween is, meh.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate Halloween because it's like you would have to be a fucking psychotic business to trespass across Halloween's threshold. Like, because Christmas has invaded so much of November now that they play Christmas music in stores on November 1st.
Oh, when
Um,
I went to visit my parents in South Carolina in the very start of November, their cars have a set station that it defaults to every time they start the car, and it was playing Christmas music every time we
I
got in.
want to set all of capitalism on fire when that happens
Yeah,
because
I
it's
told them
all
you have to change that immediately.
because the thing is I know this isn't what your least favorite. I used to love. I'm a big gift giver when I have the financial means or the creative means to do so. I love giving gifts, and it's not because it's a material thing, but I just like I'm really good at figuring out like what people like or what they're missing or what they need. I take a lot of pride in giving somebody something that's either going to make them feel something or they're going to be able to use. And I used to love doing that, but like as I become more aware of capitalism's evils, and not to say it's completely bad, but the way it's structured is bad. um the what am I trying to say, like again, the Christmas music thing, I get angry at it because it's all to influence purchasing. That's why they do it. It's not because everybody loves Christmas music, because that's simply not true. Most people don't want to hear Christmas music until December. But we hear it in November because they're already putting up their sales signs, and Black Friday starts. It's not even just Black Friday anymore. They do sales the week before. They're doing them now. They do them Thursday and Friday and Saturday and Sunday, and some do it on Wednesday. Some are doing it now. And it's all based on to get you to buy things. And I just hate that people are trying to use the joy that Christmas and the message is supposed to bring to instead try to influence purchasing to the point where I'm angry that is the case. So I can't love Christmas the way that I used to because I'm just hyper aware now that there's no reason to play Christmas music in November unless it's just to influence your buying decisions. And you can time that by what stores are playing the music and what decorations and stuff are already up before we've even hit the middle of November. It's just that's just the case. It goes from like, hey, it's fall, it's fall, it's fall, it's autumn, to it's Halloween, to it's Christmas for 2 months. So anyway, my favorite holiday outside of all that is a tricky one because I don't really buy into any of the holidays that are capitalistic anymore because I just hate that we have to buy things for this. That's how you celebrate it. So I would say my favorite holiday is one that I make up. So you know what? I'm taking
Oh,
December 1st off of work this year because that's a holiday for me because it's a it's a Monday and that gives me a 4-day work week. So my favorite holiday this year, December 1st. I'm taking that shit off, baby.
hell yeah, you do you, bro. And
I'll
I
take,
do
take
not
that
mean
day
go
off.
fuck yourself.
Oh yeah, right. Fuck yeah, go fuck
No,
yourself.
I'm actually right there with you. I know we're changing topics now, and
Uh,
this is probably going to be the rest of the episode. And I know
oh,
we
we got
talked
2 more
about this
questions to get to.
last Christmas, but you and I are both kind of on the same page of a little grumpy about Christmas. For a lot of the same reasons too. Like I also, it's my least favorite holiday, and not because of Christmas itself. I love the idea. I love the spirit of it. The idea of loving thy neighbor and gift giving, but it has
Things
just
we should be
become
feeling all
so.
year.
Yes, absolutely. But I'd rather it be once a year than never.
Sure.
But yes, I agree. It should be. And if you're somebody that's like, oh, it's Christmas time, let me be generous, and then you're not the rest of the year, fuck you.
Yeah, you do you.
Yeah, go. You do you. But like it, it's just been so bastardized and commercialized, like you were saying, that the music I used to enjoy when it was about the spirit of Christmas, right? When you could take it at face value and you're like, "Oh, it's Christmas, it's happy, it's fun." Now, when I hear that music with, having being an adult and knowing how Christmas is just run by a bunch of greedy assholes, it sounds it's like the catchphrase of these companies being like, "Oh, it's Christmas, don't forget to buy your boss something." You mean my boss that makes more than me? Fuck no.
Yeah, or just in general of here's a bunch more shit that you don't need that we could have priced lower anyway, but we're pricing it lower now because it looks like we're giving you a deal. That way you'll buy it because you don't want to miss this low price, right? It's very take advantage of the fact
Which,
that
by
you
the
are
way,
poor,
we
but you want
raised the
nice things.
price at the same time, so the discounted price is still about where it was before.
It's so true. It could be a whole episode on that, Danny. Don't
Yeah,
get me started.
I'm sorry. Yes, we will have.
Don't get me
We still
started.
have a couple more episodes before Christmas, so we'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We'll have the
It's
we'll have like the advent calendar of reasons to
It's
bitch
gonna
about
be
Christmas leading up to it.
it's gonna be a holly jolly Christmas episode this year, bitches.
Bah humbug, damn it!
Do you want to
All
answer
right.
Adrian's other question?
Yes. Question number 2 from Mr. Tennis Ball.
Yeah.
Do any of you two want to go to Canada with me next year?
I have not gotten to use my passport yet. I would love to. Absolutely. You just have to let me know when and make sure that I have enough money.
Sorry.
Are you getting a phone call? Who is it? Is it Mbeluga?
It's Mbeluga because I have the house to myself.
Put her on. Put her on.
No, absolutely not.
Put her on speaker.
She would kill me. She would come
What's she
back from
doing?
her trip just to kill me.
Oh, excellent. Is she out doing lesbian stuff with Kimmy again?
Always. They're going to
Okay.
PAX.
Oh, I knew it. How come I don't get invited to PAX? I like things. What the fuck? Danny,
Ask
we need to
them.
do more stuff together. I hate that they
You
live so
need
close
to-
and we don't.
I was going to say you need to move closer.
I wish you would come out here. You haven't come to my neck of the woods yet.
I do need to.
Do you want to go to Canada with Adrian or what?
I'm thinking about it. I might do that.
I would. Do you have your
That would be
passport?
jokes. I do have my passport. I use it to
Wait.
go to South Carolina.
Oh, yeah. You use it to go to South Carolina. Yes, a
Yeah.
very international
Well,
space.
because I don't have the real ID
Right.
thing yet.
I use it.
I still use my passport to travel pretty much anywhere.
South Carolina. Yeah, I've always wanted to go. I've heard that it's better to go like in the spring-ish or the summertime up there. It gets pretty cold pretty quickly, like earlier, like fall and winter. But a friend of mine up there was saying I should go check it out. I know
Oh,
my roommates went up there for Pride. They had like a big Pride thing over the summer up there. That was really nice.
and before
Um,
my parents messaged me after hearing this and saying, "Well, how come you want to do that, but whenever we invite you to trips and stuff, you're like, oh, well, we'll see. I visit you guys every year, and I will keep doing so because I love you and I like spending time with you. But this is our friend that lives in Germany, who I have only seen once. So
yeah,
if I
and he
get the
has to
chance to see
fly.
him again,
Yeah,
I
he has to fly over here,
wanna.
and he's going to go to Canada because America is dangerous. So, I want to meet him there because I
I
can't
think we
convince him to
are
come back
actually on
here.
like the travel ban lists or like the do not go here lists of some of these countries
Oh
now.
yeah, most of Earth is like, nah, we're not going
Yeah,
there.
don't blame them.
Uh,
Anyway, yes,
so yes, we want to go to Canada
we
with you. We'll figure it out.
Adam absolutely wants to. I want to, and I'm open to the idea. I just got to make, we'll have to plan and see.
Right, we have to make sure that it's feasible for
Feasible.
our finances and time.
Yeah.
But I
But
would love to, unless you have a lot of money
the
you've been
want
sitting
is
on with your
there.
stocks you're trading, and in which case sell them so we can go with you. That'd be
Me?
great. No, no, no.
Oh, him?
Adrian Tennis Ball. I happen to know he's learning how to trade stocks.
Oh, are we doing a day trade over here?
I don't know if he's day trading. I think he's just investing and then like learning when to sell later.
That's
Uh,
smart of him.
he's a very smart boy.
That's
He's a
also
genius,
something
and
I'm trying to dip my toes into.
I hope that when he becomes a successful millionaire, that he'll remember me and at least maybe pay off my car or something so I can fulfill everyone else's dreams.
Us, Adam. Remember us.
Us pay off us car.
Us. I want money
Um,
too.
so all right. Final question from Adrian Tennis Ball is: how did the whole Mbeluga thing start again?
Mbeluga, Mbeluga,
Beluga,
Mbeluga,
Beluga,
Mbeluga,
Beluga.
Mbeluga, Mbeluga,
She's not a
Mbeluga,
whale, she's
Mbeluga,
a
Mbeluga,
human.
Mbeluga.
So that was because you were trying not to say her real name,
And
and
I
I
messed
think it
up.
came from the M and L, or when you told that psychic story about meeting someone that started with an M or something.
Well, I almost said her real name, which
Right,
I
but you
have
said the
done
letter, and
like
you but
3 times since. I've accidentally said her name, and she knows, and she doesn't care. I still
right,
just do it because it's jokes.
right,
But
but I
her
think
name
we
is
solidified.
Mel. Her
Yes,
name is Mel, and I almost messed up, so I said it's Beluga.
I think that came from the psychic episode because you were saying you would meet somebody who started with an M, and I said, but Beluga doesn't start with an M, and I think you said, oh, because it's Beluga.
Oh, that's right. I
I
think I
think
did
that's where it officially
because
like
it's Beluga.
right, exactly,
I
and I
think
think
you're
that's
right.
where
I
we,
think that is
yeah,
where it came
I
from.
think that's where we finally landed later because you were just kind of saying my wife, or I think you call her Belle for a few times for like Beluga.
My wife.
Um, but then I was like, Beluga doesn't start with an M, and they said, oh, it's Beluga.
Yeah, I try not to use names unless like I have permission and stuff. I
Yeah.
don't want to give away somebody's real identity, like Adrian Tennis Ball.
Yeah, Adrian Tennis
Oops,
Ball is a totally different
I
person.
didn't mean to dox you, Mister Tennis Ball.
Yeah. Put your last name at your own risk in there, Tennis Ball. So yeah, so that's your answer is it was just Danny trying to avoid saying her real name. And then I'm pretty sure, I'm like 98% sure that we landed on Mbeluga during the psychic story because
It
you said,
makes
"Oh,
sense. It
you
does
said
make
I would meet
sense.
somebody who starts with M, I think." And I was like, Beluga doesn't start with an M, starts with a B. Or no, I said Beluga doesn't start with an M, it starts with a B. And you said Beluga. And I was like,
Yeah, it's
ah.
Beluga.
And then we came up with that great 60s doo-wop song with their
Because
name.
it fits so well.
It really fucking does. It's awesome. Maybe someday we can make that song if I find the right beats on my little app that I pay
Oh,
for
there you
so I
go.
can use.
I'd be down.
Oh yeah, I can put it at the end of an episode someday. It could be
If
our
you want to
Christmas
hear
present.
that, let us know. Put
Yeah,
it
yeah.
on Funinstallers
Yeah, send us a message. Let us know if you want us to make an
Be like, yo,
Beluga
I
song.
want an Mbeluga song in like 60s doo-wop.
I'll try to make it like a. It'll be bad. I'm just saying it'll be
Oh, it's gonna
bad,
be awful.
but I'll make
But
it.
it'll be there. We'll put it on Spotify.
Yeah, I mean, I'll put it on all the things. I mean, I'm trying, it'll be on Spotify, but you can listen. I'll put it on YouTube so everybody can find it.
There you go. I think
Um,
that's the right way to do it.
yeah. Okay. So those are all the questions. But Danny, I had two things I wanted to discuss. One of which you and I started discussing earlier. So I'm going to name both things so I can remember both things. So the
Right.
first one, we were discussing how to translate currency from like tabletop role playing games or like video games that use copper, silver, and gold to American currency. And the other thing is, I wanted to tell you, it's not so much a dream, but just like an idea that I had from a dream about how hell is made of ice and not fire. So, which one do you want to talk about first?
Well, we already started the currency one. Let's just do that for
Okay,
now.
so I was kind of sitting in a bit of a fugue state before we started this recording because I was waiting for Danny to get his stuff set up. And sometimes when I'm trying not to look, I'm trying to catch myself about how many times I grab my phone just out of instinct when I'm bored, even though I have two screens in front of me already. And I was just hating. So I went to grab it and I was like, Adam, you don't need to look at the same thing you just closed. I just keep opening up the same app because I'm gradually deleting other apps. And so I'm having less diversity. So I just keep looking at the same shit. I'm trying to train myself not to touch my phone as much. So I let it go. And so I just started kind of staring at my wall. And I don't know how it happened, but at some point I started thinking about like video game and tabletop role playing game currency. And so I thought, what is like, if for instance, if you're playing Dungeons and Dragons and you go to a tavern, usually the dungeon master will be playing the bartender and you'll say, how much for a beer, bartender? And he'll say 1 copper or something, or 2 for 1 copper, or this sandwich is 2 copper or something like that. And but a lot of times when you get treasure and you go adventuring, or when you play these games, you find what they call gold pieces. Usually it says GP, or it'll just say gold. I kept thinking at first, it must suck to just carry around like a sack full of gold. That's got to be noisy. And nobody really factors it in when they go adventuring, like how much noise you're making with a satchel full of gold. But I was like thinking about the whole billionaires controlling everything situation. And I had like this weird little daydream while I was staring at my wall about about like say you go to a town and they have to raise prices in their town because a dragon is hoarding all the gold, because you keep giving this dragon gold so he doesn't burn your town. So there's less money going around. But one particular rich person who doesn't actually, he's not the mayor, but he's a dragon who tells the mayor what to do, less money circulating because he's sitting on his hoard of gold. So then you go to a butcher and you say, butcher, I'd like 2 meats, please. And the butcher goes, fucking, I don't know, 10 copper. And you're like, what the fuck? It used to be 2 copper. What's going on here? And then he finds out you're an adventurer and you have fucking 500 gold. How much is that to that butcher who's like trying to maintain his livelihood because he has to jack up prices just to make his rent? Right. So I was trying to think, like, how does that translate? Like, is 1 copper $1? The way that I was thinking of it was 1 copper is like $1. A silver piece is probably like $100, and then a gold piece is probably equal to $1,000. So if you're some adventurer who's walking around with 40 gold pieces in his pocket, you got $40,000 just floating around in your pants. That's the way that I was interpreting it, but I was curious what you think.
I mean, I do have 40,000 just floating around in my pants, but it's
Some
not.
assholes
Anyway,
probably do.
um
They got underwear
so I
made of
think
shit.
I think you go a little too far. I think a copper would be $1. I think a silver would be $10, gold 100, platinum 1,000.
Oh, I forgot about platinum was a thing. But okay, so in how does it translate? Isn't it like 100 copper is 1 silver and 10 silver is 1 gold? Isn't that it?
I don't remember which is
Because
which.
that's how I was
Some of
trying to
them are
remember
10,
it.
some of them are 10, and some of them are 100. And I don't.
Right? Is it 10 to
I
10 to
cannot
10,
be
or is it
bothered to remember which.
20? Yeah, I'm gonna Google it right now.
Yeah,
What
so I
is
always
the
thought it was
exchange
110,
rate
100,
in DB
1,000.
for 1 copper to gold?
Because it would be like, a drink is like $2, it's 2 copper. You want a room at the inn, okay, well that's a silver, that's $10. Sits about right. Say you own a home and
Oh,
every
it's 10 to
year
10. Sorry,
10 to 10. Okay.
it's one
Or 10 to 1 for
100
everything.
copper is 1 gold. So yeah, I think you're probably right. Then the gold would probably be like
And it
$100
makes sense
bill.
because like maybe, you own a house and it's each year it's 10 gold, so that's $1,000 you have to pay for your house. God, I wish. But back
But in
then,
those economies, like, think about like how much like the people in the Wild West made back in the 1800s. Like if they made maybe $100 in a year, that was fucking crazy high,
yeah, yeah,
right?
things were like 20 cents, if that,
Yeah, because I
like
think
5
like an
cents.
average salary for like a sheriff was like $40 or something like that for a year.
Yeah.
So it's something like that. Don't quote me on that, but I know it's some sort of wildly low number that is just like, wow, that was a salary for the year.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it just goes up by denomination like that, 1, 10,
Maybe it's just 10,
100,000.
10, 10, 10, 10. It might
I
just
think it
be
is.
10 copper is 10 is a silver, 10 silver is a is it is it the same for platinum too? Is it 10
Yeah,
gold
I'm pretty
is
sure it's 10 gold
in
for a platinum.
D&D, how many gold is one platinum? Let's find out just to be sure.
Clickety clackety clickety.
One platinum piece is equal to 10. So yeah, I think when I first started in 3.5 it was 100 for one silver, but yeah, maybe they just made it 10, 10, 10, 10 to make it easier for everybody. So then
That
yeah,
being
I would
said,
agree.
there is a you did raise a good point that like a lot of people when they play D&D, sorry guys, there's a D&D stream now. Uh will definitely
It's a good
overpay their adventurers. Cuz you
yes.
should not. And look, I play a lot of D&D and it happens to us all the time where we're walking around with like 500 gold pieces in our pocket and it's like I kind of feel like gold should be like if you have 10 of it, that's a lot.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I should do a D&D campaign sometime where I'm like, you're not going to get a lot of money in this one. Save up if you want that health potion.
Yeah, like I think that's kind of I was just thinking about how yeah, the dream came from me just recognizing this is going to sound a bit political, but it's actually more societal and social. But there was somebody on Fox News recently, some correspondent or guest, I can't remember, who essentially came out and said, hey, you know what? Only buy presents for people between the age of 3 and 18. Grandma doesn't need those slippers. Adults don't need presents. Only get stuff for the people that live in your home that are children. And it was essentially a portent to say, like, we know even though our administration says the economy is good, it's fucking not. Everything's more expensive. Plus, supply chain and tariff issues from earlier in the year are going to make things really unaffordable. So just pinch your pennies, even though those are being discontinued. And don't buy presents for people that aren't your kids or your loved ones. Essentially, don't buy things for your wife or your husband or your partner, only for the kids. Adults don't need things. And it was just it's been stuck in my head. And somebody recently said, like, why, Adam, what's your problem with rich people? And it's like, it's not rich people, it's the ultra wealthy people I have a problem with. And the reason for, I was trying to think, how could I tell that story in an analogy of like a role-playing game or like a fictitious story that could be relatable, that could be understandable, I should say. And so I kept thinking about how typically somebody who reaches billionaire status is not spending their wealth enough putting it back into the economy. So then things have to go up when there's less money to go around, right? Because you can't keep printing more money, just like you can't keep mining more money in the game, right? So I was trying to think, like, what if there was a dragon, like, and he, the small little uh, fucking shitty little village of maybe 100 people or so, and this dragon's like, look, you have to find places to get money because I'm going to burn your fucking places down if you don't. And so, but the rest of the town doesn't know that. They just think the mayor or the governor is a real shitheel. They don't know that his strings are being pulled by the dragon, right? So he has to hoard this wealth or jack up prices on things, right? Add tariffs or raise prices or do things that like make people have to give him more money into the pot of the government, and then he feeds it off into the dragon's lair and says, hey, Mr. Dragon, here's what I was able to get you, please don't burn the house down. And he says, okay, I'm not going to do that, but also I just want you to know that I overheard the butcher race recently saying how much he fucking hates dragons and lizards, so I'm going to need you to just like have everybody hate that guy or make him have to take his prices up, or maybe tell the rest of the people that his meat is tainted, right? And so because like if you don't, I'm still going to burn the house down, or I'm going to make you have to give me more money. And so the dragon puts his thumb on the scale, right? Because he's kind of in control of all the money and the wealth, and he just likes shiny things. He doesn't want to spend it. He has what he needs by sleeping on a bed of gold, right? So he doesn't put that money into the circulation of the little town, which means prices have to go up, because when I used to be able to charge $2 for meat, now there's less money going around. There's less wealth going back into the economy. I used to be able to sell 5 hams and then be able to make my rent. Now, if I can even sell one, that's a miracle. So I have to jack up the price of that ham so that way I can make my rent in 1 or 2 sales, because I'm not making them anymore because people don't have money and supplies are running out, right? So I was trying to think, how could I tell that story? But then I was thinking, the adventurers, how would they recognize that? Because then you get like galvanized by like, I'm the hero. How dare you, butcher? You must be the bad guy because you're making your prices really high. And the butcher's like, dude, like, I don't know what's going on, but life is just expensive and I got to make my rent. And they're like, you better lower your prices. And then he sees you tossing out like a gold coin or something to buy some meat. And he's like, motherfucker, how much gold do you have in your pocket right now? And you're like, oh, I don't know, 40, 50, 60, 80, 100, whatever the fucking adventurer would have. And he's like, you could literally pay all of our rent right now with like 5 of those, right? Like, what the fuck is your problem? Start buying everything here. You're the bad guys. You're trying to villainize me because I gotta make my try to make my shit. People are ordering from Dragon Amazon because it's cheaper. No one wants to buy local. I got to try to do something to compete with all that shit. And you're like, you're the bad guy. Fuck you. Meanwhile, the big corporations or the dragon is controlling all the prices, knowing they can make them lower, but because they want their CEO dragons to make even more money, the gold dragons, the red dragons, the black dragons all want to make extra profits this year and go on 16 more vacations. Right? Does that kind of make sense what I'm saying? But then, like, you have people who have money, and it's like, well, I could try to do my best. And I'm not saying it's people who have some extra wealth responsibility to help the society, right? Like, it's not somebody who makes maybe $1 million a year versus somebody who makes $1 billion a year to save your economy. But what I am saying is that when money doesn't go into the circulation, we have problems. And then then it becomes an us versus them thing, where somebody who might have a little extra money looks like an asshole because maybe they want to keep saving money by spending at the corporation level. But also, even poor people are buying from the corporations like Amazon because they can get it cheaper. So they don't support local stores. But then they say, oh man, they're closing my mall down. I used to love going there as a kid. But you also don't shop there, right? And you think they're being greedy because they're changing their prices, but it's because they want to compete with Amazon Dragon, right? So then it just creates like a fight between people who don't need to be fighting, when really we just have to have the fucking governor say, all right, guys, look, fucking here's what's happening. The dragon's blackmailing me and he's going to eat my wife and burn down the whole village, or at least burn down my house and show all my naked pictures I took with a halfling woman, even though I said I hate them. And I can't have that. So, but here's what's happening. The dragon's doing it. And it's like, hey, let's go fucking slay that dragon and get our money back. Right? That's the kind of story that I want to tell. So I was trying to think, how would I tell that in a scope of like coins to dollars, like in these worlds, right? I know I've been going for a hot minute, so I'm going to pause now. What are your thoughts so far?
So I really only have one question. In your analogy,
Yeah.
can I be a cleric?
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you.
I didn't know if I could tell that story without it being so overtly a lesson on oligarchies.
Well, look, here's a simple way to talk about it. And I'm going to say this because you were saying like, oh, I'm trying to explain how this works to somebody. Here's a simple way to put it. All right. You build a town next to a river, right? So you have your water, you have whatever you need to make your town. And suddenly the people upriver from you start polluting the water. Water's no good now. So you go to those people and you say, hey, stop polluting the water. And they're like, you know what? Fair enough. We will stop polluting the water, but we want you to come and help us with our town. You say, you know what? Fair enough. So they ask you to cut down trees. They ask you to pile them up. And the next thing you know, the water in your river is shrinking and shrinking. So you go back up river to see what's going on, and they built a dam. So it's all piling up there, and they got all the water they could ever want, but very little trickles down to you. And they start saying, like, yeah, you have to come through us to get your water now, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah, so that's
Deep,
kind of where that
deep words.
discussion came from. So
I have no
hopefully,
problem. I have no problem with some people making more than others. Absolutely not. Um, some jobs are more important than others. Do I think unskilled label oh my god. Do I think
laborers,
unskilled labor is a thing? No. I think every job requires some skill. And
absolutely.
people that say that there's unskilled labor just like feeling high and mighty over someone else, and you're an idiot.
Right. They think
Um,
unskilled means they think unskilled equals no degree or no degree equals unskilled, and that's
yeah,
just
which
simply
doesn't
not
even
true.
work anymore. That argument doesn't even work anymore.
No, it does
Um,
not.
but it's because I've had this conversation with people all over the political spectrum before when I'm like, well, I think things need to be made a bit more even in this country, right? It's no secret that the middle class is basically completely hollowed out. And people are like, what? So you think everybody should make the same amount? No, absolutely not. But Jeff Bezos making 10,000 times more a minute than some of his workers make in a week is probably a problem.
Yeah,
And I
that's
know a
crazy.
lot of
If
people are saying that I'm going to keep this short because I don't want to get into this too much on the show. But I know a lot of people like the idea of a minimum wage, right? They want to raise the minimum wage. And I personally, I think it's a band aid. I don't think that's going to fix the actual issue. What I think is actually needed in this country, but I doubt will ever happen, is an earnings differential cap. Nobody that works at a company can earn X times more than somebody else at that company. And earning means anything: stock options, bonuses, pay, all of it. We'll use 10 times just for an example. If you are the CEO and you want to make $1 million a year, fine. I have no problem with that. If your company's big enough that you can, go for it. But the entry level guy better be making 100,000, because if you can afford to give yourself 1 million, you better be able to afford to give other people their good lives too. I don't care if
right,
you're making 10 times more. Your
right,
job
because
might be 10 times more important. It is not 10,000 times more important. I'm
see,
sorry.
but sometimes right, but also sometimes the importance, like you're saying, is way too much. Where you're like, oh well, I worked my way up to this, or I started the business and got my way up to here, so I deserve this. And it's like you can have whatever you deserve, but like you're saying, like if you think that people beneath you in the company deserve pittance compared to you, that is just not. Like again, if you can afford to pay yourself $1 million, there's no reason people below you can't be making more money than what they're making. That's just stupid. That's insane. That's absolutely
Yeah.
insane to me.
And it
Um,
causes a feedback loop that we're seeing nowadays, where you see in the news all the time that, oh, it was a big thing for millennials a couple years ago, right? Millennials are killing this industry. Millennials are killing that industry.
because we
This
can't
industry
afford
is dying.
anything.
Right. Every company wants to pay their employees the least amount they can, but don't seem to figure out that that means nobody has money to buy their stuff. And yeah, they still are for now. It's getting worse, and eventually that whole bubble is going to pop.
Yep.
Like, eventually, people are just not gonna have enough money for even the barest, frivolities. It's all
Do
gonna
you
be spent
guys
on
remember the
necessities.
game Monopoly? It's literally in the name, right? When you have somebody who's winning and they make all that extra money and they jack up the rent when they have more properties available, and then you have to keep spending them money, and there's only like 3 or 4 safe spaces you can go. right, without having to owe somebody money all the fucking time, and it all goes to the same one or two people, such as Amazon, Microsoft. Like just look at what the fuck is happening, dude, and the illusion of choice when you look at like how much money they truly are making. Because even when you go to the store shelves and it looks like you have 5,000 choices, I bet you dollars of donuts that unless it's a local buyer or a local seller, most of those products are owned by the same three companies. They just call them different sub companies to give you the illusion of choice. So like that's the issue. Okay, that's all I'm saying. It's like they control a lot of wealth, and they could easily drop their prices. They could easily pay people more, like you said, the Band-Aid situation. The system is very corrupt, and I know that sounds like a really Antifa sounding fucking thing to say, but corruption is the only word for it. There are people that are only feeding into their own interest and hearing other people's cry for helps, but choose not to do it. And I'll even say this for the billionaires out there: it's not just the Bezoses and the Zuckerbergs of the world. I'm talking the Oprahs and the Taylor Swifts too, like all of them. There's no reason for anybody to have that much money and not put it into the economy. You are not spending it fast enough. You are not putting enough into the world to help make your community a better place. Like, I'm not saying it's up to one or two people to save the world, but those same people who have gotten to that status have taken advantage of poor people, have not paid them their share, have used, maladaptive practices to make their wealth, or they've inherited it without any work at all. And to put all that into perspective, they pay next to nothing in taxes on it. Meanwhile, taxes for lower class people are going up. And a fucking billionaire, they say, oh, well, Jeff Bezos paid $100,000 in taxes last year. And that sounds like a lot of money until you realize how much money he's actually worth and how much of a pittance that is. Meanwhile, I'm getting jacked at 20% of my full taxes all year. That's not remotely 20% of his. And when you go higher up in wealth, you're supposed to pay more. It's not this fair share. So when you hear people on TV say, pay your fair share, they have all these ways they can escape paying. But you see these numbers and you go, well, that seems like a reasonable number to you, because that dwarfs your paycheck in a year. But to them, that's not the fair share. So we're technically paying more in taxes percentage wise than the people who run the fucking world. That's stupid. Okay. So anyway, all that's to say the system is fucked up, and we should be, I'm not mad at rich people. I'm mad at the hyper wealthy, the ultra wealthy, who decide that like it's better to sit on their dragon's hoard of gold than to put it into the economy. I'm not saying you got to donate to charity. I'm just saying put it into the economy, buy shit. But it's all a competition on who can make the most, versus I think it should be a competition to see who could keep it like Price is Right rules, closest to $1 million without going, or $1 billion without going over. Right? Spend your money as fast as you can to keep right below that $1 billion mark. That would be impressive as shit. Imagine how much better the world would be if it was all a competition to not go over $1 billion.
I want to specify that this is not just individuals that I'm talking about, and I'm sure
I'm
Adam
not either.
as well.
I'm talking about corporations.
Right. Well, because people always name Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos. I don't. It's companies themselves as well. When you hear
Starbucks, Target, Wall
well,
Company,
when you hear Company A is buying Company B for $30 billion,
Disney.
What was that $30 billion doing for everyone before then? Nothing. They were just sitting on it, building it up so that they could pay one purchase. And let's be real, most of that money is going to be going to 10 people. The stockholders and the major stockholders and the CEO.
Right. Exactly.
So it's like, yeah,
all that's kind of where my head was at, was just
the economy needs to flow, and right now it's all dammed up.
The Microsofts, the Apples, the Amazon, Meta, fucking, Visa, Walmart, the ones that Targets, and fuck Target, because Target's been like real taking a bad spiral because canceling DEI and everything. But anyway, the point is, it's just like it could be run better. I'm not mad that people found a way to make wealth. And I know that sounds like it because I get mad at the only time I ever get mad at people who are wealthy is when they think they can talk down to people who aren't. Then
Yeah.
I get mad.
Well,
Even
and
if you're not a billionaire, then I get mad at rich people when they just treat people who they think are beneath them as such. Then I get mad
I also
because it's
don't
like,
like
I'm rich, so you should value my opinion more. Fuck you, dude.
I
Fuck
also
you.
don't like people that, and there's another argument I've heard all the time. Well, Jeff Bezos started Amazon from his garage. Anybody could do it. There is one thing Jeff Bezos did not have to contend with that makes it impossible nowadays to do that. And that's Jeff Bezos. There are so many stories I've read of companies where they start selling a product on Amazon or whatever, it starts to take off. Amazon makes their own version of the product. And
Yep.
because they're the person that, they're the company that
They're the
distributes
platform.
it, they're the platform you buy it from, they just stop showing the smaller company's version and just show their own.
Right.
People don't realize like these roadblocks that stop people from reaching this kind of wealth these days, unless they're scamming and rug pulling and NFT bullshitting, is the people that are there. It's and some people are going to make it through the cracks. And if you do, I'm proud of you, man. Good job, especially if you didn't have to step on other people to get there. Amazing. But Jeff Bezos didn't have to deal with just Jeff Bezos. He got a free ride all the way to the top of the ladder without anybody up there crushing him down the ladder again.
Exactly.
All right. Anyway, I want to stop this. This is not a political show. If we wanted to one day, I would absolutely be down to make a political show. I actually do love talking politics.
To be fair, this isn't just political; it's just society structure.
That's true. I like to keep the
I didn't
show
say
a bit
anything
more
about red versus
lighthearted.
blue, left versus right this whole time. It was all
True.
just money. It's all
True.
just
And
status.
let's be real. Red versus blue, we have our misunderstandings. It's really
us
rich
versus
versus
them at this
poor.
point.
It's rich
It's us
versus
versus
poor.
them.
Well, that's
Yes.
the problem. You can't see it like that. It's rich versus poor. It is not red versus blue.
Right.
I don't care what
is
side of
all
the
the
aisle
poor
you're
people.
on. It's us against the rich.
Right.
Eat the rich.
Right. I'm just
Although
saying.
they probably taste awful.
They probably would. They probably taste like old stinky ketchup. All right, last thing I want to talk about before we go, which I had another idea I was still thinking about in a creative space. I do miss doing certain things, but I feel like I've given myself too many. I'm getting like a paralysis, but like I miss it. I do miss certain creative endeavors, and I miss role players, and it's been a few months now. And I was trying to think like, do I have it in me to run a game, or would it have to be semi-monthly, or I don't know, but or maybe write my own story. I don't know what that looks like yet, but this all comes from just like me trying to let my brain get bored, because boredom is good for you. And I'm trying to be better about just sitting in silence and just let my mind wander, because I get some really fun ideas sometimes. And, oh, that reminds me. Let me ask me someday to read you my notes app, because I have so many random notes I don't remember writing of ideas I had.
Your notes app probably sounds like somebody who was high.
Dude, it's like fucking weird. There's one in there called, did I say this last episode? I can't remember. I think it was meat soup is something I wrote down. No, meat cereal. It was meat cereal. I don't know why I wrote that. Anyway, so I was thinking about how, I was trying to like break the status quo of like a certain kind of storytelling, and I was thinking about hell. I don't know. I was thinking about demons. I think I was thinking about Karlach earlier from Baldur's Gate 3, because I saw the one gal who, Samantha Bear, doing like an awards thing. And I was thinking like, why are they always like associated with fire? Like I know they say hellfire and brimstone and blah, 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 blah. And I think I was thinking about something going on in our current political climate. And I thought to myself, hell isn't hot enough for that kind of person. And I thought, but what if they like heat? Would cold be better? And so then I thought to myself, maybe demons are hot because they're adapting to have to stay warm in hell, which has frozen over for eons. Maybe it was hot at one point, but now it's frozen, right? And so some have kept that, or maybe it's always been a frozen tundra and they just learned to engulf themselves in flames as like an evolutionary thing to adapt to the cold. And so that's why they're always on fire That's why I was like, it'll be a cold day in hell, and demons are like, yeah, every day in hell is cold, dude. um, so I just thought, what if they're surrounded by fire, or they have hot skin, or whatever that may be, or they're obsessed with flames and flame attacks, because that's how they just like light their candles at home, or that's how they start their fires, or that's how they keep their friends warm, or that's how they light up their towns, because it's the only flame they have is the ones they can generate. Isn't that an interesting idea, that hell is just cold all the time, and
Well,
it's just it's essentially Russia but with people on fire?
So Russia.
Yeah, essentially.
I mean, well, that is a thing. There is like depictions of a frozen wasteland version of hell.
Really
Yeah.
interesting.
What's it called? Cocytus or something? There's something called like cocytus.
Did you say hepatitis?
Yes. Yeah, the river of wailing in Greek mythology. It's a frozen lake in Dante's Inferno. So, Dante's Inferno, there's the layers of hell,
Right, the circles of hell.
the circles of hell, and each one's a little different. And one of them is just a frozen wasteland, I believe,
or at least a frozen lake,
at least a frozen lake.
where they're like, you have to hang out in there because you're an idiot.
Now, I have a philosophical, I guess, question for you, or like a religious question for you. All right,
Hate me. I'm the most religious person you'll ever meet.
Don't worry. This doesn't require actual knowledge. This is an opinion.
Hey, listen, that's not religious knowledge I have. It's a religious feeling, for I
Good.
am him. Please,
because I want to know. I want to know what you think, him.
Yes.
So, hell is, let's say hell is just the thing you hate the most of all time. Okay?
Yeah.
So you have arachnophobia, you're a dipshit in real life. You go down to hell and it's just spiders everywhere.
Sure.
Okay. So you're just a miserable sack of crap who hates anybody who's happy. And you die.
Misanthropic.
Yes. And you die. You go to the pearly gates, and Peter's sitting there and he's like, yeah, so there's no way in hell we're letting you into heaven. But people being happy and like cheery, like in heaven, is what you hate most. Do you get into heaven because it's your hell? Or do they send you to hell even though heaven is what you hate most? Like the idea of just everybody being happy and happy.
I think it's like they strap you into a chair and then make you watch videos of people that like you hated for being happy continue to be happy while you're miserable. I think they just have you watch, like, here's all the people that you resented and the wonderful life that they're leading now that you're not in it anymore. Like, or now that you cannot interfere in it anymore. There was no way heaven would be that. They wouldn't be like, oh, we'll let you in here because everybody's happy here. It's like, no, because you also get the amenities of the stuff. Like, you get air conditioning and you get a nice bed and you get to swim in the pool at certain hours of the day. It's like, no, you don't get to have the nice things just because you hate seeing happy people. There's still a punishment for you. And, you have to go and watch somebody whose favorite job is scooping up cow shit, and like they're having the time of their fucking life, but every time they scoop it up, it just looks like your face because you are the cow shit.
You're in the hole they dump it into.
Exactly. It's something like that, where like there's always some sort of twist, like when you make a deal with a devil, there's always some sort of thing that he does to sway it in his favor, even though it sounds like a straightforward deal. There's always something like that where it's like, well, you just have to watch people happy, and like, well, that doesn't sound so bad, but it's just people who are happy because you're dead, and they just talk shit on you all the time. It's like, man, this dude, this tiny dick, tic tac dick having the penis face because his face looked like a penis. That's the biggest dick he ever had, was his dumb face. I'm so happy he's dead now. And also, his dog comes to me now. Like his dog is so much happier. He wags his tail all the time. I adopted him because we found him trying to eat his owner in his house. It's shit like that. We're just like, they show you all the things that you thought would make you happy, but somebody else is happy with them instead because you didn't appreciate them then. That's what that is. And hopefully you learn a little something. That way, if you ever get reincarnated, you get a better shot to be a better worm, since you probably won't get to be a better person.
Yeah, but would you still love me if I was a worm?
If I knew that you were the worm, sure, yeah. I mean, I try
Aw.
to not to kill anything, but if I
Well,
knew specifically if it
wait,
was
is it
you as a
either
worm,
kill me or die? I'm sorry,
no,
is it
I'm
either
just
love me or you kill me?
no, but I'm just saying a lot of people when they see a creature like ew and they throw it or they crush it or what. I don't think people really kill worms. They just like will throw them or something or they collect them for fish. But if you said, but if I like, I typically just leave worms alone anyway, or if I find them on the sidewalk, I put them back in the dirt because they got lost or something. But like, if I knew that was you, like, I wouldn't treat you any like extra shitty if I didn't know it was you. But if I knew it was you, I'd be like, fuck, Danny, what's? I'd launch a full investigation, try to figure it out, especially if you could still communicate,
How'd this
even if it was
happen?
just like leaving slime trails on the ground or something. I don't know how you talk to me, but
Why
if
do you
there's a way to
assume I'm
do it,
slimy?
because most worms are slimy.
Maybe I'm not.
I mean, fine if you're not
I don't
okay.
want to be
Like then you're
slimy.
a dry worm.
Oh, I don't know if I like that better.
Can I call you old dry worm?
No,
Why?
I just don't like it. It sounds
What?
insulting.
It's not. You just said that you're not slimy. What would you be then?
I don't know. A
Like
moist worm?
no, because that's
But
still
that's
wet and
slimy.
slimy. You would be a coarse worm, where like you're bumpy and rough, like a caterpillar maybe, without legs.
I
Would you
don't
be
know.
furry? A furry worm's a thing. That's not a thing. Those are caterpillars with legs.
That's just a caterpillar.
I don't think there's such thing as a furry worm. I don't think that would really work. A worm with
Maybe
hair?
I'll be like a tapeworm or something, and then we'll be together all the time.
Yeah, because you could stick to things and hold stuff together with because you're tape.
Yep, that's where I was going.
You're
with
not.
that.
Oh, see, you're not slimy. You're sticky. You're a sticky worm.
Yes, I'm not slimy. I'm satisfying.
You're not slimy. You're sticky. I don't know if I want to call you Sticky Worm though, although that does flow
I
off the
don't like
tongue
that
there.
either.
Danny Sticky Worm guarantee.
That's not any better.
I like Sticky Worm actually. That's pretty funny. Although if we called you Dry Worm, you could be like DWorm. It'd be like D''worm, like DWorm, right?
Oh, yo, I'm DWorm.
You could be like I'm DWorm, Danny DWorm guarantee, DWorm
Danny
guarantee,
DWorm.
Danny DWorm.
Can I please get some fan art of Danny DeVito as a worm called Danny
No,
DeWorm?
I want Danny guarantee is just make a worm wearing a red
Vans hoodie.
Yeah, a red dirty hoodie, and that's it.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never once worn a red hoodie in my life.
You're wearing it right now, aren't you?
No,
No,
but I
you're
do wear
wearing
it like
sweats.
every day. I am wearing sweats, and I'm
You're
wearing
wearing gray
a
sweats.
Corteo Cirque du Soleil T-shirt.
Are you wearing gray sweats with it?
Yes,
I knew it.
gray
Gray
sweats.
sweats are perfect for showing off your manhood. So I'm told.
I see.
So do I.
Well then, I knew recording these with the video on was a good idea.
Yeah, man. Stop twerking. Your mom might see this.
You want to know what's sad? I'm a better twerker than my wife.
A better twerker than yeah, I could believe that. Your
Yeah.
wife is too awkward to twerk
We've
properly.
tried, and I'm a better twerker.
Yeah, Mbeluga is just she seems like she's
Her hips lie constantly.
Yeah, they're always
They're just
her
always
pants are
lying.
constantly on fire.
Yeah.
On account of she's a liar. Anyway, do you want to wrap up this episode?
God, yes.
Okay, so in short, we like December 1st and what did you say?
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we'll consider going to Canada if we can afford it. Mbeluga started because a fortune teller told us to call her that or whatever we said. And billionaires bad, capitalism needs a change, and Danny is DWorm. Is what I think.
Danny
a perfect
is
summary.
DWorm. Yeah, you know what?
Danny
Fine, I'll take
DWorm.
it. I'll take DWorm.
Danny DWorm guarantee. Danny the sticky worm.
No.
I like sticky worm.
Because now I'm the dry sticky worm, and that's so
sticky
wrong.
Worm, sticky worm is a pretty good screen name, though. If someone doesn't already have it, you should steal that. Danny DWorm is also a good one.
I'll take Danny DeWorm. You can take Sticky Worm.
I mean, I'll be Sticky Worm. I don't care.
Oh my god. All right, look, listen, everybody. Thank you for listening. God help us all. I can't believe it. If anybody reached the end of this episode, you
I
have my
always
eternal respect. Thank you. We appreciate you to no end, especially if you sit here and listen to all this nonsense that happens.
I find it hard to believe if anybody listens to full episodes when they're almost
There's
an hour.
no fucking way. There's no
No.
way.
There's a reason we've plateaued.
Thank you all for listening, though. We really do appreciate it. You are the wind beneath our wings, the water in our river, the money in our capitalism,
The sticky on our worms.
Goodbye.